Firstly, I wouldn't want to bank on an impeachment of Donald Trump. I don't think that's an immediate prospect. It might happen, but I certainly don't think it's a certainty. What little I know of Vice President Penny is not suggestive that we should be terribly optimistic. He's also very conservative, I think, in approach. Firstly, I think we are stuck with the Trump presidency for 4 years. So I think that's the first thing. But also, we would probably get somebody of a fairly similar stripe, even if he was impeached. Perhaps a little bit more socialized into Washington mores, but not a huge difference in terms of policy outlook, one suspects. One thing that I was thinking was that with regard to the death of democracy issue, my own feeling is that Trump in himself is a feature of a crisis of democracy, basically. Trump is the product of mass American discontent with what the democracy has brought them over the last few decades. And in that respect, you know, he's not the death of democracy, but he certainly is a feature of the crisis of democracy. Well, it remains to be seen what he will do with that. Because the problem is that, as you correctly said, that he's contradicting himself all of the time. And so it's very difficult to know exactly what he will do. If he does deliver on an isolationist America, then that will have retrograde economic effects. If he does try and boost the economy by spending money, that will actually raise the value of the dollar. So it'll go above that 4.3 against the ringgit that we were talking about. That's not going to be terribly good for American trade. So, I mean, in this sense, there are a lot of problems with Trump's plans.
So basically what you're saying is, to play it safe, the next president should just be business as usual. Continue with whatever existing policy and nothing new, because whatever that he will do will be really, really scary. It's yeah, to be safe, just do what it's business as usual. Foreign policies, trade liberalization, do as what
I don't think it is as simple as that. Yeah, I don't think it's as simple as that, because change will be there.
Yeah.
Okay, change will be there. So whether it is, you know, what kind of global system that we have, you know, we have had the two power system at one point, yeah, and then we have moved to a more multipolar system. Okay, so now with the economic changes, with definitely China rising, the rising power of China is there. In fact, what we should be concerned is we know that it is rising, whether it's militarily, economically, and so on. But the point is, to what extent will it use its power? Yeah? China is not, historically, is actually not aggressive. Yeah? If you go into what we call Oriental globalization,
yes.
This is before the 1600s, yeah, when Cheng Ho and so on have been coming to our areas, they never conquer the land.
Yeah.
That was never the psyche within the Chinese. Yeah, it's always about trading and so on. But at this point, if you are being provoked and you do have certain level of power, especially military power, maybe it is something that they might use. So I think our concern here should be more looking at what is going on in the region, and instead of also, you know, US will definitely always be there, and we need to be concerned. But sometimes it is also better to look into our own neighborhood and make sure that our own neighborhood is well taken care of.